And just scan through your body and notice, how are you making contact with the ground? Where do you sense yourself most? And then what I want you to do is to rest there and gently extend your awareness to the breath and become the observer of breathing. So you're not going to change your breathing, you're observing your breath. And where do you notice your breathing? Can you sense your ribs, your belly? Do you sense any movement in the pelvis as you breathe? And then become aware of, where is the most movement? Is it in the belly or the ribs, the chest? Or do they feel balanced? What if you were to lightly extend the belly on the in-breath? So you're going to allow your belly to inflate a little bit more and then gently release. So breathing in, inflating a little bit more, and then letting go. And then take your awareness to your chest. Allow your breathing to just settle again. What would you have to do to gently draw more breath into the chest area, into your ribs? And then slow release out of there. So breathing into the chest area. As you breathe into the chest, can you notice what happens at the back of your ribs? So breathing in and breathing out. What if you travel back to the abdominals and draw the breath down so that the abdominals inflate? And then pause. Feel yourself holding the breath in your abdominals. Notice what's happening in the front of your body as you do this. And then when you feel ready, you can let the breath go. And you're going to breathe in again and hold the breath in the abdominals. Pause and tune into the back of your body. So as you hold the breath there, can you notice what's happening in the back? And then whenever you feel you want to let go, you let go. So that you can do another breath in and hold the breath in the abdominals. And this time, as you hold the breath there, feel how the sides of your abdominals are adjusting to that held breath. Maybe sense down into the pelvis, the legs. And then when you're ready, you can release and let go. And you can take some easy resting breaths here. So let go of controlling the breath and just allow the breath to happen. And in a moment, you'll take your awareness up to your ribs and you'll breathe more into the ribs. So feel the ribs expand as you breathe in. Pause. And notice what happens in the area around your ribs as the breath is there in this way. As you contain the breath, how are you wrapping yourself around it? And then whenever you feel you want to let go, let it go. One more time, breathing into your ribs. Pause. And feel what's happening in the shoulders and the neck. How are they adjusting to the breath being there? Is there anything you could let go of as you breathe out? Breathing in, filling up the ribs, like a balloon inflating, and then pause, like you stop the balloon inflating, and sense the shoulder blades. How are they responding to this held breath? And then when you're ready, you can let that go. And just allow the breath to flow nice and easy, comfortable, easy breaths for yourself. So what we're going to do next is we'll hold the breath inside. And one of the things that sometimes is useful for people is to put the tongue to the top of the head, to the top of the mouth. So you're going to want to stop the breath inside yourself. So we'll start with a belly breath. So as you breathe in, fill up the belly. Hold the breath inside and now draw the abdominals down to send that held breath upwards into the ribs. And then draw the ribs down to send it back down into the belly. And just notice, what do you have to do to make this happen? How do you rearrange yourself? And as you continue to flow the breath, you may need to breathe out and then breathe in again. So going to another held breath, filling up the abdominals, and then shuttling that breath lightly up into your ribs, and then back down into the abdominals, and then up. Could you direct it more to the back of your abdominals and the back of your ribs? So what do you have to do to make it more of a back area movement? One more time, breathing into the abdominals when you're ready. And then sending it up. And then sending it down. Can you feel what's moving up and down between your abdominals and your ribs, your chest? Can you sense how your ribs are moving? Does anything happen in your shoulders and your neck? And then whenever you come to the end of it, you just let the breath go and tune into a resting breath now. So letting go, relax, let go of the breathing into the abdominals. So that in a moment, you can start by breathing into the chest first and holding the breath and exploring what do you have to do to direct that breath so that the abdominals expand. So you're breathing into the chest and then you're going to send it down. And could you slow down and soften the up and the down so it doesn't go as far up and it doesn't go as far down? Could you keep it closer to the bottom of the ribs? And then let it go whenever you need to. Breathe in, fill up the chest when you're ready. And the invitation here is to explore the sides of your ribs and the sides of your abdominals. So could you breathe down and feel what happens in the side of your abdominals? And as you breathe out, do the sides of your ribs expand? Or is it an up-down movement? So what if it was through the sides now? How would that be different? And then let it all go. Release, relax. Back into resting, relaxing breathing. And tune in and sense, how does it feel through the front of your body now? How does it feel through the abdominal chest? Maybe up even into the neck, down into the pelvis. Maybe as far away as the arms and the legs and the head. So just tuning in to the front and sensing. Has anything changed? Is there any difference in your breathing? Do you feel that you're breathing into the abdominals or the chest more? Or does it feel more even between the two? And from here, the invitation is to roll over and lie on your front. So you're going to gently roll so that you can have your belly on the ground and find a way for your head and your arms to be positioned so that you feel comfortable. So if you wanted to, you could put one hand on top of the other and rest your forehead on top. Or you could have your head turned to one side or the other. So just feel, what do you need to do with yourself so that as you lie on the ground, you feel comfortable? And in this position, take a breath in. Notice what happens as you breathe in. Notice what happens as you breathe out. Where do you notice the breath most? So do you notice in the abdominals, the chest, maybe even in the throat, the pelvis, or is it more spread out? How are you reorganizing yourself around the breath coming in and the breath going out? What if, just for fun, you were to breathe more into the chest this next time? Notice how that feels. Can you feel what happens in the back of your body? And then lightly release. Are you being gentle with yourself with the breath? So breathing in, filling up the thoracic area, the ribs, the chest. Can you sense your spine? more time, breathing into that rib basket, feeling the ribs expand around that breath. And then releasing. Taking a resting breath when you're ready. And then focusing down into that abdominal area, lower back area. Can you draw the breath downwards and notice how you reorganize yourself in that lower area? Feel what happens as you breathe out. Tune into the left and the right side of your waist. As you breathe in, is there any movement there? And notice if you're trying to make it happen or if you're observing it happen. What happens in your lower back as you breathe into this lower area? Is there any movement there? What if you breathe in and hold the breath in your abdominals this time? And then shuttle it up into the ribs. And then down. Could you imagine that there's a railway track along your spine and you're sending it up your spine and then gently down your spine? How light and easy and playful can you make this? Let the breath go whenever you need to, and then breathe into that lower area, inflating the abdominals, the lower back, the waist, and then internally send it up towards the ribs. Send it back down. Can you feel how you kind of squeeze it in one direction lightly, and then you squeeze it in the other direction? Letting go when you need to. And we'll do one more abdominal breathing. So drawing the breath downwards as you breathe in, holding it internally, and then reorganizing yourself so the breath feels to go up into the ribs and then can come back down. What if you just keep it near the bottom of the ribs and the top of the abdominal? Could you make it a soft shift between the two? And then could you send it a little bit further into the middle of your ribs, in the middle of your abdominals? And let it all go. Breathe easy. Take a rest here. Resting breath. Feel into your head, your neck. Where do you want your head to be? So the next thing we'll do is breathe into the chest, hold the breath internally and send it down into the abdominals. So preparing yourself for this, breathing in and filling up the chest comfortably, easily, and then exploring that movement downwards. And then the movement upwards. Is there anything that you're doing that you could let go of doing and still send the breath up and down? What's the least amount of activity you could do and still have the breath move up and down? And then what would be a slightly increased version of that? Whenever you need to breathe out, breathe out. Breathing into the chest, the ribs. And then sending the breath downwards. And then back up. And just playing. Exploring. Feeling into different places in yourself as the breath goes up and down. Is there anywhere you've not sent your awareness that you could send it now? What about the back of your head? What's that doing? And then let it all go. Release the breath. Let go of needing to send the breath anywhere. It was just a game we're playing. You can let go, relax. And when you're ready, roll over to lie on your back. Take a resting Soma scan here. Tune into the feet, the ankles, the calves and the shins, the knees, the thighs, hips, pelvis, the waist area. Travel up through the ribs, the spine, the sternum, breastbone, out into the shoulders, through the collarbones, the shoulder blades, down through the arms, the elbows, into the hands and the fingers. And just sense how your hands feeling now. If you compare them to how you began, and then travel from the hands all the way up to the shoulders, across into the neck, up through the neck to the skull, and sense your head resting on the ground now. And how do you feel as a breathing body? How do you feel as a soma experiencing breathing? And then in your own time, from here, you can roll to the side, you can find your way up into seated. And just tune in seated. Sense your pelvis, your abdominals, your chest and your head. And just take a lighter, fuller breath. So a soft adjustment in your breathing. How do you respond? How does it feel as you breathe out? One more time. Gentle, easy breathing.